Today, I would like to give a brief account on biology. So, let us coming to the first chapter of 8th standard, biology. See, biology, the term biology refers to two words. Bio means life. In Greek, bio means life, logos means study. So, together it is called as biology. The full form of biology is called as biological science. Next, coming to biology means the study of life sciences, means the study of living organisms. So the study of living organisms or life sciences is also called as biological science. Next, coming to Lamarck, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, a French biologist who coined the term biology for the first time, which means the study of living organisms. Study of living organisms. Biology is the story of life, means the history of life and evolution of living organisms on the earth. How the life is evolved from the cyanobacteria to till now, it is called as a evolution. It is one of the branch of biology which leads to a continuous growth and changes. Next, life on the earth originated about 3.5 million years ago. Life on the earth originated about 3.5 million years ago. See, biology can study easily about some more branches. One of the main branch of biology is called as cytology. Cytology means the study of cell, or also called as cell biology or molecular biology. So let us see how to study about the cell. Cell, the basic unit of life, the structural and functional unit of life for all living organisms. Why? Because the cell is the basic unit of life. Because of all the living organisms are made up of from single cell, that is called as a zygote cell. So that is why all the living organisms are made up of cells, so that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Is it clear, everybody? Coming to cell, the basic unit of life, or the structural and functional unit of all living organisms, it is better to understand prior. So what do you mean by life processes? What do you mean by living and non-living things? How life is differ from the non-living things? It is very important. So let us coming to the non-living things. For example, take a piece of chalk or a duster or a dust book. These called as non-living things. We are considered these are called as non-living things, or a tools or a goods or substances, which makes doesn't perform any kind of life processes. Let us take living organisms like plants and animals, human beings, or microorganisms. So these living organisms, all the living organisms carry out certain basic functions or life processes. It may be digestion, respiration, transportation, excretion, growth and development, reproduction, stimulus to response. These can perform by the living organisms, which may not perform by the non-living things. It is a clear difference between living and non-living things. Now let us coming to that life. Why? Because we are discussing about life, because our biology deals with the study of life. How the life is arises in the living organism, how it is possible. As we said, life arises on the earth nearly 3.5 million years ago. Okay, this is clear. Next, all the living organisms carry out certain basic functions are called as life processes, are also called as metabolic activities like digestion, respiration, transportation, excretion, etc. This is possible by different set of organs perform the specific function. For example, take the digestive system. How the digestion takes place in our body. As we know that some of the group of organs are set of organs like liver, stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine and large intestine. Together they perform the digestion process. So I mean that different set of organs perform the specific functions. It is possible by the life processes. Next, coming to see, if we see around us, the life or the living organisms having a amazing diversity and wonderful similarities. We are not having the same common features, but we are not identical to one to another. Why? Because we are having the amazing diversity and the wonderful similarities have coexist in a harmony. So this is called as the diversity of life or biodiversity. Okay, madam. Coming to the history of cell or the discovery of cell. Till now we are discussing about the cell, the basic unit of life. Why? Because the cell is the structural and functional unit of all the living organisms. Next, coming to first of all, who discovered the cell and who discovered the life cell or living cell? Let us going to discuss about in this chapter the discovery of cell. In the year 1665, the Robert Hooke is a scientist who has discovered the cell under a simple magnifying device which he made himself. We can see in the page number 15. So the discovery of cell was by the Robert Hooke in the 1665. In the year of 1665, Robert Hooke, the scientist name who discovered this the cell, the thin slices of cork. He discovered the cell from the thin slices of a cork. Cork means nothing but it's a bark. The epidermal layer of the tree is called as a bark. Basically, it is dead cells, but he doesn't know about that time in this matter. So, a soft bark from the oak tree under a simple magnifying device which he made himself. When he observed the cork, it is resembled the structure like a honeycomb. When we observe the honeycomb, it is having many tiny spaces, the empty spaces. So the empty spaces are empty box-like structures. It is appeared when we observe under the microscope of these bark or cork of the soft bark. Next, coming to Robert Hooke called these cavities as a cell. How he has considered that it is a cell? Robert Hooke called these cavities as cell. Actually, in Latin, it is a Latin word. Cell is a Latin word for a little rooms. Cell is a Latin word for a little room. Next, coming to when he observed under his own microscope of these thin slices of cork, it appears like a small spaces or box-like structures, small or empty box-like structures. So these are the cells in the section of cork appeared like this. It is look like just nearly rectangular shaped structures or boxes. Next, we have to do the same activity which was done by the Robert Hooke, but it is very difficult to identify this oak plant, so that the near structure of this oak plant bark we can take matchstick. So activity number 1, observing a matchstick. So let us take a matchstick. So this is the matchstick. We have to take this matchstick and we have to cut them into the head portion, and we are going to soaking half an hour for water. So when we are soaking the matchstick half an hour in a water, then it becomes too soft and smooth. Then we have to take a thin slices of that thin slices of cork. When we have to keep under microscope, we can observe this. The structures like rectangular shaped boxes. So this he called that cell. See children. So this is the picture was given by Robert Hooke when he observed under the microscope of thin slices of bark of the oak tree. This is the activity which we have done in the classroom, observing a matchstick under the simple compound microscope or laboratory microscope. So when we observe under the compound microscope of matchstick, it is look like just nearly similar to the rectangular shaped structures. Why? Because the matchstick and the oak plant bark both are considered as the dead cells, means empty cells or empty box like structures. So both are nearly rectangular shaped box like structures. He called that cell. Is it clear? Now we are going to discuss about why the cell is empty. Why the cell is empty? The living cells are empty, or they are having any other components within the cell, that we have to discuss about in this class. So when we are going to observe the onion peel, next we are going to take activity number 2, observing an onion peel. Take an onion and we have to cut them into a thin slices which we are having. Take an onion and remove the onion peel. And make them to cut into a small deep groove as shown in the textbook, and we have to separate from them. When we have to extract the onion peel from the onion, see, this is the structure what we have to separate from the onion peel. When we have to take a thin slices of onion peel, extract from this, and we have to place on the a glass slide. So this is called onion peel. Which we are extracted or separated from the onion just now, and we have to place on the glass slide, and we have to add a drop of water, and we have to cover with the cover slip, and we can observe the structure of onion peel look like the page number 17, figure number 4. This is the structure of onion peel. Now we are going to see the structure of onion peel on the blackboard. So what we have extracted onion peel, when we observe under the microscope, put on the glass slide, take a glass slide and keep this the specimen which we are extracted from the onion peel, and we have to add a drop of water and cover with the cover slip. And when we have to observe under the compound microscope in the laboratory or classroom, it is nearly appear like the figure number 4 onion peel in the textbook. It is nearly appear look like this structure. So these are the structures of empty boxes in the honeycomb hive-like structures. But when we have to observe the onion peel, so onion is having the life. So